Today I fucked up by making a teenage boy uncomfortable. So this just happened 5 minutes ago and it's very light compared to other stuff that gets posted here. I'm waiting for the bus to go home from shopping with my mum. For context, I'm a 27-year-old woman and we are in Australia. So while we're waiting I see and hear a magpie which is walking around. I say out loud to my mum, "Oh, he's so cute." My mum says, "He'll peck your eyes out." And I say back, "I just like how he looks and how he walks." As I say this I'm staring at the magpie, but when I break from looking at it, I realize that close by was a teenage boy and he's looking at me weirdly. He abruptly walks hurriedly away while glancing back every now and then. When he's gone, it occurs to me that he must have thought I was talking about him. "I'm sorry kid, I didn't mean to freak you out." TL, doctor, I was fawning over a magpie and a teenage boy thought I was talking about him and got creeped out. Edit, I'm making an edit because I keep seeing so many comments from people who don't know what a magpie is. I'll try my best to explain. An Australian magpie is a native bird. It is smaller than a raven and is black and white in color. They make this warbling noise that is oddly pretty sounding. The most notable thing about them though, is their territorial nature. During mating season they will swoop your head and try to attack you. Doesn't matter if you're just innocently passing by a tree that happens to house one of their nests, they'll still see it as a threat and try to fuck you up. I think it might have been your mum's comment that freaked him out. Kid, what the hell does she think I am? When I was about 18, I walked past an older man at a bus stop and he said, "You're the most today I fucked up person I have ever seen," while looking in my general direction, but not directly at me. I started walking a bit faster and looked back to see he was actually having a phone call with someone via a Bluetooth earpiece which wasn't visible from the side I approached him on. Yeah, in a big city it's sometimes hard to tell if people who talk to themselves are drunk, mentally unwell or just on the phone. Wait, this is a real today I fucked up? Thank you Op for the genuine story. I'd much rather read this than the stories that are normally on here, please keep them coming. I wasn't even going to initially post this but I thought, why not? It made me laugh eventually after the fact, thinking about it. I'm glad my silly encounter was enjoyable for you. You probably just set his standard for attraction to women to the rest of his life. Aru intensifies. I legit thought a magpie was a food. For some animals it could be. Today I fucked up by almost choking on my eye at work. Obligatory, this didn't happen today. It happened yesterday actually. I had just gotten into work. It was early and I was tired, so while sitting at my desk I rubbed my eye. But as I rubbed it, with horror I got the familiar sensation I've only gotten a few times while out in public. I felt my eye fall out. Now before you think I'm some sort of alien whose eye is constantly falling out of his skull, let me say this. It's a prosthetic due to a birth effect. After quickly finding it on the floor I placed it into my mug of water on my desk to let it sit and clean it a bit, like I'm Crumb from Our Real Monsters. Here's where the fuck up happens. My boss is constantly moving from his desk to wherever in the building he has to go for meetings and whatnot. But in the morning he always makes sure to say hi as he walks by. I don't know if it was from being tired or what, but as he walked by my desk to say hello I decided to take a sip of water from my eyeball mug. In seconds I can feel my prosthetic in my mouth and my eyes widen. So I'm left with the age-old question that has plagued mankind for years. Spit, or swallow? Prosthetics can be pretty expensive, so I opt not to swallow it and instead half spit it out and half choke as I was mid-swallow at the time. Of course this leads to a coughing and sputtering fit and my eye once again falling onto the floor. My boss was so alarmed he went to someone in HR to come make sure I'm alright. By now it's become quite a commotion in the office and I just want to die as it's happening. TL doctor, I almost swallowed my prosthetic eye trying to be a functioning adult too early in the morning. Edit, just to clarify for people that have never seen a glass eye before and their only reference is TV. A glass eye is probably the size of I'd say 2 peanut M&Ms, odd reference but can't think of anything else. Also it all happened rather quickly. I fell out, picked it up, dropped it in my mug, boss came over 2 minutes later. I like the explanation of the prosthetic long after I have already made the ridiculous assumption that is actual. I fell out. Yeah, I worded the story purposely like that. Bit clickbaity for sure. Man's eye falls out in office, you won't believe what happened next. When you roll the eye on the ground, do you get dizzy from seeing the world spin? I wish. Maybe one day I'll be able to see out of a prosthetic. Happy Cake Day. My dad also has one eye and it fell out when he sneezed in a hardware store. It bounced under a pallet which was holding a stack of cement. Had to go get staff to lift the pallet out carefully without crushing his eye. I laughed so hard when he told me this story. Avoid eye contact with your boss for the rest of eternity. Go to work early and put the eye on his desk before he gets there. Well, at least you didn't swallow it. I respect Op's internal conflict nonetheless. Today I fucked up by introducing my BF to Reddit. Edit 3, stop encouraging him. It took my whole 16 days to realize my mistake. How do I know it was 16 days? Because I can see the account creation date. For about 6 months my BF used my account to browse Reddit. He's a big lurker, 1 to 2 posts a year on IG and nothing on Snap/FB for years, on social media, so this wasn't a big deal. Well, 16 days ago I was being petty and changed my Reddit password. Honestly, I don't think either of us even remember why I was being petty, but I was and I deeply regret it. Changing my password forced him to log out. My BF, being the brilliant and not feeding into the shenanigans type, just created his own account. He got home and showed me his cool new account. I encouraged him to make a post. He didn't get any traction and he was kinda bummed about it. I foolishly bought about $15 worth of Reddit coins and gave him a bunch of awards. I want to hype my man up like Billy Mays RIP Bo. Today I fucked up a soul, did OxyClean, and I did exactly that. I jokingly said, please don't forget me when you get to the top. Here's my mistake. 1. Reddit coins aren't always anonymous. I got notifications for every award and knew they all came from me. 2. He will not stop talking Reddit. Babe, what do you think of this meme? Babe, what's the best sub to post this in? It was too late. He had felt the high from Reddit clout and he can't stop. Is it 30k karma in 16 days and won't stop talking about how he's a master content curator and the king of internet clout? I don't know if I will ever get my BF back at this point, but I'm okay with that if he less DFU about Reddit. I'm like one more post away from logging into our router and blocking the website completely, but I know he'll just switch to his phone and turn off Wi-Fi, plus he'll still have access to it while at work, so it might be more effort than it's worth. I know this sounds like a meme post, but I swear it isn't. I'm seriously so sick of Reddit, but at the same time I don't know where else to turn. Too long didn't read, introduced my BF to Reddit, forced him to make an account and amp, now he won't STFU about it. Edit, guys are making IT worse. Edit 2, his username is u/original Big Dick McGee for those of you asking. Kinda foreshadowing seeing how nobody on Reddit has a girlfriend. That was the hardest I've laughed all day. Gets on Reddit to complain about how cool Reddit is. I know it's cool. That's why I introduced him to it. I had no idea he'd turn into a clout slut. He probably gave you the award you have right now. Also, at least he didn't just use it for porn like most people do, lol. I love titties too, so that's not a problem. Seems like every single one of his posts are reposts from other sites, so you should feel less bad about showing him Reddit, and more bad about how he's using it. Scrolling down his posts, I'd compare it to having a mom that bases her entire life around Hallmark cards, and showing her Facebook. I'm gonna save this for the next time I'm feeling petty. The account is doing a lot of obvious reposts. Not exactly good etiquette for someone who understands Reddit and has used it for half a year. Redicat.